Veronica loses her Olive again is such a brilliant Veronica's Closet episode. I have so many thoughts with this one. I might say it's one of my favourites from season 3. I don't know if I'd say of all time, but it is a tremendous roller coaster and it's so fun. This is the 20th episode of the 3rd season of Veronica's Closet, and there will be spoilers from now as I talk about various things that happen in this episode. And it starts off with Olive coming into Veronica's closet to get some personal items. We know from the previous episode that she decided to quit Veronica's closet to take up another position, and this is mostly what this episode is about. But we do get a little bit of a story focusing on Leo and Perry. And at the beginning of the episode, Olive actually refers to them as Tan Guy and Bright Suit. And I just think that those are brilliant nicknames. They are such a great duo. And I wish that they'd come up with Tan Guy and Bright Suit earlier on, because that would have been a brilliant nickname to have throughout the season. It might have seemed a little bit pointless, but I loved it. Leo and Perry accidentally dial Naomi Campbell's phone. And I will be honest, I have no idea if that's Naomi Campbell's voice on this. There is no credit on IMDb at all. I doubt it is, but at the same time, the show was doing pretty well. Who knows? But either way, they spend a lot of the episode trying to work out what message Leo is going to leave for Naomi Campbell. The way the episode went was pretty decent. I rather liked it. We have some smooth talking, particularly from Perry, and how that part of the story concluded, I rather liked. But the main focus is definitely on Olive and also Veronica and how she is dealing with things. Because, needless to say, she's still really upset that Olive has left. It's coming across as bitterness and anger, but she's hurt. She's definitely hurt. And we actually get to see Olive in her new job, and she is working from the back of a restaurant with meat dangling from the ceiling. It is not the position she thought it was going to be, and she's not enjoying it. Meanwhile, Veronica is trying to hire a replacement for Olive, and we have some great candidates. We have a character called Johnny Kane, played by Jackie Bright, and on his CV, he said that he was in his 30s. And I will just say, he's not in his 30s, and he thought Veronica's computer was a television, and he was just delightful, and he came into it a few times, and I really liked that. I think they got a lot out of this character, and I rather enjoyed that character a lot. We also have a really brilliant character, which gives us some really awkward moments, and a brilliant quote as well. This is a character called Olivia. She's played by Lisa K. Wyatt, and she's not identical to Olive, but they definitely cast somebody who looked a lot like Olive, and I think they did a great job with the casting. She has cats, but that's where the similarities end. Veronica keeps trying to make her engage in girl talk, if you like, and this is actually really great, because in the first episode, I think it was the very first episode of Veronica's Closet, Veronica and Olive are not the great friends that they became, and that first episode is largely about them trying to bond and create this friendship. So to then have Veronica trying to do something similar was really lovely and really nice to see. But of course, Veronica is doing this because she's missing Olive, and Olivia is not interested in that kind of friendship with Veronica, in that kind of conversation, and things get a little bit awkward. For example, there's a point where Veronica says they didn't really get a chance to talk, so Olivia offers, and I quote, "I have my MBA from Yale," and Veronica replies, "How many men have you slept with?" Completely inappropriate. And then she starts to encourage Olivia to unbutton the top of her shirt, and it's really, really inappropriate. And Olivia says this brilliant quote. It's brilliant because she's ostensibly describing Olive. She says to Veronica, "You don't want a CFO, you want some kind of weird drinking buddy perv pal," which, when you think about it, kind of describes her relationship with Olive. But I thought it was very, very well done. Obviously, her behaviour, her actions are completely inappropriate. It's very clear that she's missing Olive. I love Josh's role in this. Josh definitely plays the mediator, going between Olive and Veronica, basically trying to encourage the other that they want them back in the situation they were before Olive left. And Veronica visits Olive for the second time and finally apologises properly and asks her to come back, and Olive is about to agree. We have this hug, this beautiful hug between the two of them, and I got a little emotional there because, well, there are only 2 episodes left after this, and it's starting to feel final, which I don't like. Veronica even offers to give Olive half Olive, and I think anybody watching it would have thought that she meant half of her 49%. No, she meant 0.5%. She's giving Olive 0.5% of her company. And then Olive is about to quit her new job. And it turns out that the person she met earlier at the restaurant is going to buy them out. She's going to get $20 million. And I think that that's quite interesting. I'd love to know if they knew that this was going to be the final season. Because I don't know. I don't know if they knew that or if this show ended. I think because of the title of the final episode, I don't know what the final episode is about, but because of the title, it makes me think they knew that this was the final season. And that's why they went and give Olive $20 million. I think that wouldn't have worked if they were planning on doing more seasons. So I'm assuming that by this point, or by the point they were writing that episode, they knew that the show was over. And that makes me very curious to see what they do with the next 2 episodes. Part of me is really looking forward to watching them. Part of me feels like I'm going to cry because I've watched one episode every week for the past probably a year by this point. I'm not entirely sure how many episodes were in the previous 2 seasons, but certainly we're talking over a year. It must be over a year now, and I'm going to miss it a lot. Not that I can't rewatch it, but nevertheless, this episode is absolutely fantastic. I am looking forward to the next 2 and really thoroughly enjoyed Veronica loses her Olive again.